Hiya, Georgie.
That was really good.
Every once in a while.
Today is Thursday, November 6th. We are way late on this because somebody has a job.
Not me.
In fairness,
Not me either.
In fairness, they released this episode 2 days early with no prompting. They were they're like, you know what?
No job there either.
Happy Halloween. Here's the thing. And on the one hand, that's great.
Even if it came out Sunday, it is now
It's
Thursday.
still Thursday. Yeah, Monday is when we would have done it.
Go
Monday.
on.
We should have this review in. You're going to have to quit that job. I'm sorry.
Yeah, or quit a couple of them.
At least
Quit
Mondays.
Quit them all just to be on the safe side, and then we'll restructure around the podcast.
You know, the thing about that is we are in a government shutdown, so I wouldn't even get unemployment.
So, but in solidarity, you should, with the government employees.
Yeah.
My finances are actually looking good for once, though.
Oh, that is good.
Whatever.
Like I'm like caught
Doesn't
up
really
on.
do a lot for us.
I'm like caught up on bills and like
Money
ahead on
doesn't
some
buy
things.
happiness.
You know.
And we have a special guest with us today. We have the mascot of the podcast, Maggie, who just got herself a wash and a clipping.
She smells really good.
She smells fantastic. She's a little gassy at times, so that might ruin the current fantastic smell.
Oh, good. Then if you smell anything, it's not me.
But
you could blame it on her. Though.
it'll make
That's
us.
what I'm saying.
It'll make us make some funny faces, and you'll know. Well, you'll know why.
Well, we're here to review episode 2 of It.
Yes.
Welcome to Derry.
Thank you.
Join the Coyotes. You'll float down there. We'll float down there.
Oh my.
Yes, we do.
That's good.
Scary.
That was Pennywise.
That was yours was really good though. Your impersonation of
Really
it.
good. It sounded like
Spot on.
a friend of Dexter's doing Pennywise.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Interesting. Well, this episode opens with the scene from episode 1.
Yeah, kind of like the end of episode 1 was
Right.
the beginning of episode 2. At first, I actually thought it was like how some of the shows would do like a previously on.
Well, they did do that.
Yeah, but I thought it was like still part of it
Yeah.
because it was like the same scenes, and I was like, oh no, this is just how they're starting it. Okay.
And when they did that, I was very, very nervous because I
I was so excited for
that the
Steve.
whole thing was going to be a dream. And if it was a dream,
I was ready.
And then nothing happened in the theater, I was going to be pissed and I was not going to watch the show anymore.
But the reason it started like that was because she was having a nightmare. Lily was having a nightmare.
Right.
So that was okay.
I was relieved. But when I first saw her wake up, I'm like, you sons of bitches.
And she wakes up reaching for
I still
that
needed.
little girl's hand.
It still wasn't 100% clear right in that moment. You had to like hear a little bit of dialogue and hear like, oh, we're looking for the kids.
We
like,
had to get
okay,
into that.
okay.
Yes. Yeah. Because for like about a minute, I was like, I swear to God.
Because I think like the next
never
scene was
thought
like
that.
Oh, I did.
the next scene was the police officers like at
Sitting in front of their house, Ronnie's house.
Yeah, and like that could have still been like them investigating the other boy. Yeah, like before they start talking and you find out like why they're there.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was just like, oh come on, and then I was like, okay, all right.
You were rooting for it
I was okay.
just so
with it.
you'd be right?
Well,
And
Just so it would piss me
it would
off.
be
Just
a
so it would piss
terrible
him off.
television
Yeah.
show,
Yeah.
but you'd be right.
I don't care about being right, but I
you do.
no, I don't care. But I knew it was gonna upset him. That was what it was
It would
about.
upset everybody.
Yeah, I think
It was
I would
a
hope
win-win.
so. It ended up being really good.
Yep.
Yes.
It was a good. She was just having a nightmare about it.
And there
All
was
the events still happened.
There was a lot again in this episode.
The amount of Easter eggs in every episode is insane. It's hard to even name them all because it would take longer than the episode.
I swear to God, I don't want to. I'm not saying a spoiler. I'm not talking anything about plot of the rest of the episode. But this is just for us, right? What is up with this guy? He has like a fetish for something.
Which guy?
And we're gonna talk about the director.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly
We're
what
gonna
you
get
mean.
to it. I'm not
Yes,
spoiling nothing. Just
After she wakes up from the nightmare scene, you want to talk about that, or
Yeah.
you
Well,
want to go into the next part?
I was going to say the opening credits
brand
because
new
now
intro.
for the first time we have an intro, a real intro.
Yes.
Did
With
you
a
watch all
song.
Did you notice all the things that were in the animation, or it was just photographs, really? Pictures?
Right. Well, still
I
anime.
saw
It's
some
still
things.
cartoonish.
Well, I mean, there was a lot.
Yeah.
Because
Go ahead.
do you want me to go through what was
No,
in
yeah,
that?
absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead.
There is there's Juniper Hills, and they show them like experimenting on children, kind of.
Giving
you know,
lobotomies.
Yeah, something right, probably. There's you see like gangsters in the middle of the street in a shootout. And anybody that read the book, that's from 1935.
Yeah, it's probably season 2.
That's the Bradley gang, yes.
Yeah.
So that's going to be big then.
And in that one picture, there's Pennywise is in the window shooting a gun. Too.
Yes, and that's in the book too, actually, where he shoots.
So he might have instigated the whole thing, honestly. He started it, kicked it off, yeah.
And then there's also is it the Metalworks or the Ironworks? But the Kitchener Ironworks, I think it's called Ironworks. In 1908, which is good. There's a big fire during a like Easter egg hunt where like 100 kids die. So that's going to be brutal, and that's going to be in the last season.
Yeah, the picture in the thing showed a bunch of kids with Easter dresses on, holding Easter baskets and everything, and the bunny in there,
I had thoughts about that, but it didn't really click into place until a later part of the episode, and I'll bring it up when we get to that.
Well, there was another part. There was a family sitting on the ground eating. Someone said that they think that's the Markson family.
Well, there is the people in front of a house where it's that Neibolt house from the
different
It
scene.
movies.
Yes,
Yeah.
But there's a family having a picnic on a lawn somewhere.
Yeah, and the one little girl sitting there with
Yeah, and they said that's the Markson family who was in Derry in the mid 1800s, and the father poisoned his entire family with mushrooms and then killed himself the same way.
Is there mushrooms in something like that in the picture or anything? I don't know.
It was just them at a picnic, but that was a hypothesis I heard.
And actually, the song that the girl's singing, like the little rhyming song, I don't know, it's an old song, but it's talking about how you like act like everything's all right, like wear a ribbon, put a smile on your face, and kind of pretend everything's all right.
That was supposed to be a very nice song with two sisters singing it, and
But for this setting,
it was very "Baby Is Cold Outside." You know, when you should think about it, you're like,
that's actually a very nice song.
I like that song too. I don't think it has anything to do with drugging anybody.
Baby, it's called. With your permission, I'd like to pour you another. Whatever, John Legend, you moron.
I'm gonna need that in writing.
Could you sign this document here?
We're getting off track. We're getting off track. Right. Go ahead. Nabil, get us. You want to get us started?
Then the last scene for the intro was that nuclear blast with the house, and there was a red balloon in the middle of the blast, and then they pan backwards. And all the kids are ducking under their desks and everything. And there's one kid looking at the projectionist, and it's a clown hand. Running the projector. So that was another cool.
It was a nice little intro.
It was very good. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. And then where do we go from there?
Was it Lily going to school?
I think the next scene was
do we see Hanlon's family arrive? Or am I jumping the gun? No. His family arrives at the house. He's waiting outside for his wife.
All right. Now that might have. I think that was next.
So
I thought that was episode 1.
Do you think?
No, that was episode 2.
That was episode 2.
Yeah, so he was sitting outside waiting for them because like his family wasn't in episode 1 at all. He just talked about
because we were wondering how.
You're right.
We were wondering how the ages were going to work out for his grandson being the other Mike Hanlon. But now you see he has an older son, so it will work out. So he is the grandfather of Mike Hanlon.
Yep.
But one little thing, because there is a lot of racism in this.
Oh, a lot.
And his wife, he sits there and he goes,
"It's atypical for the time period."
Yeah, absolutely. But he says, "I've been waiting for 2 hours," kind of joking around. And she's like, "Well, I kept it way under the speed limit, but because you don't want to take a chance on getting pulled over, you know. I mean, that
not back then,
yeah."
No. The kid gets out of the car. He's excited to see dad. Well, sort of for like about 2 seconds. He's like, "I want to see my room."
Yeah.
And he runs to go see the room.
And he's got a
nice telescope.
Nice telescope there, thanks to his mother.
Yeah.
Get a little heads up on what he would like. And then he's like, the father's like, "Well, it's daytime. We should just spy on the neighbors."
Yeah.
And then they're
Just
like,
kidding.
No,
Just kidding.
No, he was always just kidding.
He's like, "I was just joking."
Looking around. That was pretty funny. Is the next part where she goes to get food for dinner?
I think it is.
Where she goes on that little shopping trip, like?
There's probably the interlude between those two scenes with Lily getting to school. Like, you know, she gets out of the car. There's I don't remember the friend's name, but the friend's like very like
she's trying to get in with that group.
She's very like catty. She's like she's like, "I'm everybody's friend until, you know, I have to, you know, do what I got to do."
Yeah. Well, I think she would like to be Lily's friend, but she doesn't want it to harm her efforts to try to get in with
she wants to be more popular.
Patty Cake Girls or whatever they're called.
Cakes.
Yeah.
So she's like there trying to talk to the Patty Cakes, and they're kind of just like ignoring her until Lily walks up. And then
she starts talking to.
she's like, "Hey, I want you to
Ronnie, yeah, she's talking to Ronnie, and then the patty cakes are all like, "Why is she talking to her?" type of thing. But they're acting. I mean, they're holding it in, but they're acting kind of normal for what they just witnessed. It's amazing how calm and cool they are.
Very.
But after it started off with Lily's horrible nightmare.
Right. Yeah. But then while they're at the school, though, I'm surprised at how calm they are.
Well, and I said this in episode.
We did skip something too because before Ronnie goes to school, we see her father and her grandmother talking about the police scene.
Right. Well, I mentioned that we saw that at the start.
But he's worried about the police are trying to get him for the murder of these children. And he wants to keep Ronnie home to protect her because he's afraid to let her go out on her own. And the grandmother said, no, she's going to school.
Yeah.
You can't protect her all the time.
No. And, oh, God, what was the other thing? The patty cakes kind of just are like,
I'm sorry,
like whatever, they make a joke and then she starts laughing and then she goes a little too far.
A little too much laughing.
Hold on.
And the leader is just doesn't want her to have any of the attention from the group.
Does that girl, because she's kind of the cuter girl of the group and stuff there, that one, the one that's in charge, the main one.
Yeah.
Does she seem almost like Pennywise-ish? Like there's something a little bit off with her, kind of?
I don't know. I didn't get that.
It's weird. I don't know.
I just think she is a bitch.
Well, she is that.
But who knows?
For that group.
Maybe you're picking up on something.
Maybe.
Well, she's like the same character that's in Clueless. Who's the head of that blonde-haired group?
Alicia Silverstone?
No, the other. Who's the head of that?
It's so long since I saw that.
I forgot. Regina something. Yeah, she's
what was the name of the bad chick?
I don't know if it's Phalange or not.
No, that's Friends.
That's a good one.
All right, so we had them get to school. What else? Lily kind of shows up and she tries to talk to her and say, hey, I want to get you in with the girls, but you gotta try to get back to normal. And Lily's kind of I don't care about that. I'm dealing with real stuff here.
That insane, but she can't, that's probably why she hasn't been saying anything because they know they're going to put her back in the asylum. If she says anything about what she saw. Spoilers. Well, no, at the time, that's probably why she's not saying it.
She does say that to Ronnie later.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly.
The only other thing too, and again, I said this in episode 1, and we have things that end up happening in episode 2 that make you wonder. But a lot of times when you're getting these Pennywise hallucination moments, whatever you want to call them, there's the people that experience it, and then it flickers back to reality, and then everybody else is I have no idea what you just saw.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if right now, we saw the demon baby attack them, and that's what they experienced. But what does it look like to everybody else? Right? Is it just the kids disappeared? Right?
I'm assuming.
Did those 2 girls get found and they're not covered in blood and they're, you know what I mean?
Well, the kids are gone.
And their family's gone.
It's not a hallucination or anything.
No, I got that. But kind of I don't want to jump the gun, but it happens in this episode too. You know what I mean? Where we see something and then the door opens and, she's not.
Oh, right. We're getting to that, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, right? It happens, but how's it look to everybody else?
You mean so Pennywise is using the hallucinations on the children, but nobody else would see it kind of thing? I guess
kind of.
Yeah, I guess
I know. I see what you're saying. I don't know how that works. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I don't think we're supposed to know yet.
I see what you're saying.
But, and that's not a new thing, right? That happened in the movies too.
Yes.
I think every kid in the movie got a scene where they were alone, and then something crazy happened.
You pretty much get your own fear, your greatest fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is, it is jumping the gun. I won't say it now, but it is what happens to Ronnie later on in this episode. It's her biggest fear too.
Right, which is again very ironic that we got to deal with something like that 2 episodes in a row.
Oh my god. Well, then from there, I think we go to where the mother is going through the town to do her shopping.
Yes. So,
what about Hanlon when we don't see him yet at work? I don't remember. It's hard. They skip around so much during the episode.
Do a lot of skipping.
I think that was after.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I tried to do my notes again in order of the show.
So I don't remember what the wife's name is, but the wife's new in town, and she goes to try to go to the butcher.
And the music is very nice and perky, like a 50s sunny day. Yeah, beautiful town.
And she gets to the butcher, and the butcher's nice. The lady in the butcher's nice to her, but they're angry about other stuff.
Did you catch the butcher's name?
No.
Kirsch.
Oh.
Do you remember that name?
Yeah.
From the movie. That's the lady that when Beverly goes to her father's house.
Old woman.
Yeah.
And he is a little bit off. He's a little odd, Kirsch.
Yeah.
I mean, not like he's Pennywise.
What's his nickname? What do they call him?
Sal the Butcher or something like that, or Sam the Butcher?
Cleaver or something?
Cleaver.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Cleaver.
Yeah.
Cleaver?
And she's like, "Oh yeah, how cute," or something.
Yeah.
But like when
again, racism.
it seemed like it.
Well, he says, "Oh, so are you from out of town?" And she goes, "Well, I know I don't look like I belong here." And he goes, "No, that's not what I meant."
Yeah,
but it is a little bit what he meant.
I think though that scene was meant to feel that way intentionally, because when she walks in, that one lady who's like in there like has like a real angry look on her face.
She walked out scowling.
It ends up having nothing to do with like her like
It has to do with Paul Bunyan.
Yeah.
The Paul Bunyan stuff.
Everybody hates Paul Bunyan.
I don't understand it.
But
I don't either.
I think that moment is meant to remind you that sometimes there's racism and sometimes there's stuff that people think is racism and
That's
isn't.
true.
Well, that was another thing. Right at the beginning of her walk, now, Paul Bunyan happens before this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When the kids throw the egg at the sign and stuff.
That's as she was walking into town,
And they're putting Paul Bunyan together. Didn't it almost look like the kid getting ripped apart because it had those bolts hanging down? I mean,
really catch
not
that.
that meant that. I don't know. But for me, I was like,
scenery.
that looks a little like the kid getting ripped
The way
apart.
they're doing things with Easter eggs, it probably was like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand why everybody's so angry about Paul Bunyan
It
either.
doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they'll follow. Maybe we'll find out more about it.
So
Under your chairs.
but so she's in there, she's ordering meat, and then like she happens to notice one boy outside getting like the tar kicked out of him by like four other boys.
Pounded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's just doing nothing, and she's like,
walking by.
"Are you gonna do anything?" And he's like, "Oh, boys will be boys." And so she goes and she tries to help him. She's like, "Leave the boys alone." And they look at her like they're about to do something.
He did that. One kid stepped toward her, but he didn't do anything.
And then when the boy that was getting beaten up runs, then they like kind of run after him. Stop chasing that boy.
And then
we don't.
Everybody else gives her like these weird looks, like, "What are you doing?" Just stops and stares at her.
We don't know who any of those boys are yet. We don't know.
No, none of those people.
No.
Right.
And then from there it kind of like cuts back to dinner at the Hanlons because she tries to tell the husband about what happened that day.
Yes.
And he's just like, "Stop making waves.
Right.
You made waves where we were before."
Shreveport.
Oh, so you're blaming me.
But so I wonder if we're going to learn what that was, because he
Probably.
made a big deal of it.
Probably.
Yeah. So she has a history, though, of
Standing up for herself.
being a little bit of an activist, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, standing up for herself. I mean, I guess back then it would be considered activism.
Well, that's what I mean,
Turn your
yeah.
phone off, for Christ's sake.
It is. I got
That was the
notes
third
here,
time I
dude.
heard that.
Notes.
I mean, turn the volume down.
I turned it off.
Thank you.
Calm down.
What was after that? Was the
Was
Ronnie
that
scene?
Ronnie scene, I think, is next. Yeah.
Did I miss anything? He mentioned something about like
Well,
Hanlon
there is
work
when Hanlon goes to work.
and sees the guy getting like walked away.
Well, that comes a little
Actually,
later.
Is that the next
night,
day?
That night in his house after the dinner,
Yeah.
his wife comes in and is talking about. Before she comes in, he's looking through the file of his assault. He's got that lead pipe or whatever it was, and the gas mask pictures.
That's a little
and
later
stuff.
in the episode, though.
That's not then. That was that night.
No, it isn't. Well, it might have been that night, but it wasn't that in the timeline of the episode.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
I think the Ronnie
The
scene.
Ronnie
was next.
scene was next. Yeah.
I just couldn't remember if we'd missed a scene with him at work, but I think the work was after too.
Earlier in the episode, they showed when Ronnie's father and grandmother were talking in the background. There's pictures of her mother in her wedding dress.
Yeah.
Yes.
They like weirdly like focused on. in on that.
Yeah.
And she has one in her bedroom right
Yep.
next to her bed too.
Right.
Picture of her mother, and then she goes to bed.
And then she gets kind of like
It's like
encased.
she's initially like under the covers somehow, and
Yeah.
then she's in some type of, it looked like skin.
like a cocoon.
Well,
Yeah,
it ends
yeah.
up kind of being like her mother's womb.
Well, that's exactly
Wow.
what it ends up
Well,
being.
yeah,
But
but it's
transitions
like
from the sheets to skin.
to like reddish and veiny.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
got really gross really fast.
And
Yeah.
she's struggling to get out of this. I mean, just scraping
And
at the
underwater,
sides.
she's like under in a
drowning.
fluid.
Yes. So she finally breaks out, and yet again,
Another birth. Is that
Another
what you were talking about? Another.
birth.
Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah, it was something. I don't know if this is just a prevailing theme in this show or if it's a thing for Andy Machete, who's the director. But twice now we've had people get like violently birthed as a part of like either somebody's fear or instilling fear. So
Well, and then her mother says like you came out of me and
you like
ripped
you
me apart.
destroyed me or you
Yeah.
eviscerated me or something.
And I'm sure this is Ronnie's fear.
Fear.
Like,
Yeah,
I killed my
mom.
mother in my birth. It must have been maybe that's when she died. Apparently.
well, when she's talking, she's saying all this to her. She's Ronnie's on the floor, still attached to her through
With
the
the
umbilical
umbilical cord.
cord.
that
yeah.
was gross too.
And then her mother's stomach just opens up to reveal rows of teeth, which is
And
obviously in the eyes, the glowing
yellow
eyes.
Yeah.
And it starts drawing her in, starts like, what was it? Like kind of like eating the umbilical
Yeah, it was
cord.
eating the umbilical
It
cord,
was friggin'
I
disgusting.
thought we were watching Supernatural for a second when I saw the yellow eyes.
She bites through
Bites
it, right?
through the
That was
umbilical cord.
gross.
That
I don't
was
know if I could
friggin'
have done
gross.
that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's this show has been like, very graphic.
Very graphic and I mean, there are some very scary scenes in this show.
I'm not watching it on
Yes. Yeah, you are.
well, I'm not seeing any like disclaimers come up,
Oh,
and I
disclaimers.
feel like there should be some.
I did see something.
Did you?
Yes, today. I forget what it said about. I remember seeing something about like 18 plus or whatever. And
Okay. I
right
don't think
at the
that's
beginning.
enough.
I know.
Not like age wise, but like it's not gonna do it justice descriptively.
Right.
Well, she's screaming in her room, and then her father ends up coming in, and there's nothing. There's no
And that's
fluids, there's
what I was
no-
alluding to. Like
Right.
again, this is something where I'm
she's just
sure
seeing it.
I'm sure it happened, but somebody walks in and did it happen? We don't know.
Exactly.
When you don't see
Exactly.
the evidence of it, it tends to seem like more and more that these are things that are, if not mass hallucinations, they're in people's minds, whatever. But
Well, the next scene's the bar scene. Where
Yes.
the three guys are sitting at the bar room.
Well,
table,
somewhere
the police
before
chief-
all this, though, we saw Hanlon with the
No, that's coming
general.
up. That's
it's coming up.
That was way earlier
The
than
bar
this.
was first.
The bar was definitely first.
Yeah.
And it turns out
Well, because the general comes into the bar.
No.
Or it was another
It was
military
another-
guy.
it was
another
guy.
military guy, and the police chief ends up coming.
Oh, yeah, the
major or
police chief,
whatever,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Police chief comes in, so-
Bowers, he's a
Right.
Bowers.
The three black guys that are in the military sitting at a table
Yeah,
by
yeah.
themselves. The police chief walks in. They're just chit-chatting back and forth. So the police chief walks in, goes up to the bar, and then the townsfolk, one's
Yeah,
like a
they're like
councilman
pressuring
or
him.
something.
One's
Yeah.
a councilman. I don't know who the other
They're
guy is.
pressuring him to arrest Ronnie's
He's like, I
dad.
got no evidence. He's got
Right.
an alibi.
Exactly.
And they're like, either you do the right thing by
we're gonna-
arresting him,
Or we're going to do the wrong thing.
or you will not get reelected. I
Exactly.
mean, that's what they
We'll
say.
find someone to run
somebody
against
else
you or
can.
something,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, my takeaway from that was also like, oh, well, we'll do. If you're not going to do your job, we'll do it.
But it's enough that sets up a later scene with him and Lily later.
Right.
Oh wait, go on.
So the three guys drinking at the bar ended up, the bartender ends up going up to him, and they're like, all right, it's time to go. We got to get out of here. So
Yeah, so
ended
they
up
go
going
to
get
some-
some other bar where they got moonshine.
Moonshine, yeah, but they don't show that at all.
No, they don't. But I'm assuming it's someplace where like all the black people in town go.
And
I'm
then
assuming.
next thing you see is them walking back on base.
Back on base.
Pretty drunk, or at least
They
the
were-
one
they
guy
were
is
messed
pretty
up.
drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
And the guard they are locked down.
Right.
But he's going to give a hard time. And he's thinking of getting him arrested. I mean, by the base,
Right.
Yeah, MPs.
by the military. So he calls. I don't remember who he said he was calling.
Must have been the general. I'm assuming.
But
I
Halloran
thought
says, "Tell him my name.
Yeah.
I have special privileges." I mean, he's kind of uppity, for that time and everything. I thought he was throwing it out there pretty blatantly, like I
he
have
was.
special privileges.
He was well, good for him though.
But he was right.
Yep,
They
they
used
got-
his
I mean,
name.
he
the
already.
guy gets on the phone. He's like,
Go on.
all right.
You're good.
Okay, all right. Head in.
They should
he's
already
like-
know better than to mess with him, especially after the first guy that messed with him got arrested. Like,
All right.
Well, that's a different guy. That's Hanlon.
well,
This
yeah,
isn't Hanlon.
right, but it was black. How do I say this? A member of this base who was a black military member, got messed with, and they
all right,
dealt
so
with
you're
it.
saying-
Well, that's completely different than this. They're breaking the rules. They're coming
they
back
were?
on base
Oh, okay.
drunk.
Oh, okay.
They can't, and they're not supposed to be off
I
base.
thought the hassling was because they were black.
No, as far
Oh,
as this guy,
I think it was a little
50,
bit.
50?
I can see a little
Yeah,
where the guard at the
50-50.
gate was a little
But-
racist.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
because that pervades everything in this timeline, and
Kind
they're
of,
going to
yeah.
keep on. It's going to keep being a thing.
Yeah, because they weren't one-off incidents. They
But-
were what they were
But in this case, they're wrong.
for coming
For
back.
being
from-
off
Coming
base
back
during the
drunk,
lockout.
and they were supposedly
Probably
the base is
broke
locked
curfew.
down. They weren't even supposed to be off the base.
Okay.
Is what he was saying.
Did it get locked down after they left?
But Halloran's like, I have like super secret spy mission powers or whatever he says. Like I have immunity, kind of. And the guard just ends up saying, "You're right," and go on in, and they all do.
So they go in.
So he has
and-
something going on that we learn a little more about later on.
And then they forward over to like that military dig site. They give us an example. They show them digging like almost like an archaeological dig.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
They're
fourth
looking for
dig site, they
Right.
say.
They're
Yep.
looking for the turtle.
They're looking for something. They're looking for something.
Oh, I'm wondering exactly what they're looking for.
Well, that's when they show what's his face. He was nauseous from the night before.
Well, I don't know what they're looking for, and this isn't a spoiler, but I mean, like in different Stephen King books and stuff, there and Pennywise.
Well, you know what they're looking for.
Pennywise is.
Do we though?
Yeah.
Pennywise is an
said
image that this like alien entity puts up. It's not the actual entity. So is it from outer space? Is it an alien that crashed
probably.
there? And I'm wondering if that's what they're looking
is
for.
Pennywise that? Because he definitely is.
Whatever it actually is,
Right.
that's what the government's looking for too.
Yes, and they know they're looking
And
for
they're
it.
saying it could be a weapon to use against like the Russians and stuff,
exactly.
and the rest of the world.
Which will beg the question if they delve into it more in like the other seasons when they're like further back in time. Like if he's been around so long, he hasn't like crashed recently.
No, he's been around for I think he says hundreds of years.
Yeah, a long
some
time.
point.
Right. So, but then the question would be, what spurred them to start looking now?
Well, probably Halloran.
Probably
Something with his
No, I know,
shining.
but I'm saying like it's all gonna like you can keep asking the question like, okay, well, why did Halloran see something now? Just because he's around now?
Well, because he's
Yeah.
well, he wouldn't have been
Yeah,
around
I mean,
before in the 30s.
And if he wasn't in the Air Force, he wouldn't be there either. He'd be wherever he grew up.
So, but I'm the government, right? And I'm
Right.
just going to take the word of some guy who tells me because he's got The Shining. Maybe he's not going to tell people
Well,
I have The Shining.
Maybe he's
We don't
proven
know
himself.
why this is going on either.
No, we're right.
And most
That's what
people
I'm
probably
saying.
don't believe. If you said, "Oh, I have a special power and I can find things,"
Right.
they'd be like, "You're
so
full of crap."
again, it circles back to what precipitated it now.
maybe
you mean
we'll find
who
out.
was the one that's believing him right now and stuff? And yeah.
Because you got the power of the military behind you. You got to have given them something, proved something to say, okay, let's set up in Derry and start digging.
So far, I mean, the series is going to go back,
sure.
But I feel like this year is almost going back too. We're starting at the end kind of, and we're learning more about things.
Yeah.
So I think that probably will be something that we'll find out about earlier,
True story.
It's been great. This all is great.
I know we're missing a bunch of stuff, but I think the next part they go actually go back to the school. And
Yes,
that's when
because
we meet Richie, that little kid.
Will
in the hallway.
meets Richie in the
That kid-
hallway.
Both those kids, I'm going to say, are adorable.
I
Holy
love them
crap.
both, yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
They're so adorable. I can't take it.
Yeah, because he's like, he's sitting on the floor, and he's like, is this someone's spot? And Richie's like, what? You can't take a spot on the
someone's
floor.
spot.
I think part of the name I'm not like doing great with mentally committing to these names is because of what happened in episode 1. I know like
So you
who
don't
we're
want to get
talking
attached
about.
to anybody?
Yeah, kind of.
That's why it's hard to watch a lot of British shows too, because they do the same shit.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Kill your main characters in season 1. You're like, God bless it.
Oh bollocks.
But we find out Richie, who's in a band outfit, is in love with the leader of the what's that group?
The
there?
I thought he
Pancakes.
was in love with the
No, it's
one that
it's
wants to be in the group.
Everything I've seen said the leader of the group there.
The patty cakes.
Well, that makes
Yeah,
more
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
But he was staring at that girl, and she was staring
She
at
was staring
him.
back at it. Maybe that's why.
I'm not sure.
maybe
And
trying
then
to
the
use
other
her.
friend walks by and pops up the middle finger. I'm like, oh my god, that was pretty
The
funny.
one that you can't even understand
Yeah.
with all the gum in her mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
was pretty funny.
We'll have to see about that because I felt like, even though you would assume it's the hotter one, I think it's the.
Well, time will tell.
I think it's the other one that wants to be in the group. It felt like that's what he was.
Well, maybe you're right. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going for the leader if it's
I don't know
me.
how I feel about
whatever.
him calling her hot.
That's a
Well,
little weird.
not
That is a
hot.
little weird.
The prettier one of the group.
That's
Even if
better.
it's just not much.
It's better.
But it was pretty funny. He's in love with her. And then he sees, after they pass by and the chick flips him off, which I thought was hilarious.
Yes.
He sees another boy running into the hallway and he tells, what's the little boy? What's the other boy's name?
Will.
Run.
Richie tells Will.
You better run.
Yeah.
And he's like, why? And then all of a sudden a stink bomb down the hallway. It just blows up in the hallway. There's crapple. So he gets up and runs through the smoke and rams into that teacher that doesn't.
Didn't like him already.
Yeah. So she ends up putting him in detention. He meets Ronnie there.
Yes.
Actually. Did you guys see the chalkboard? All the crap. on the
That's what I
chalkboard?
wanted to say. Yeah, there was all kinds of swear words and
They had the principal banging
there was
the
a penis of the turtle.
The turtle.
Wiener?
There
my
were
God.
boobs and the F word all
Yeah,
over
I'm
it.
like, who that?
And there was one thing there. It was like 2 world, 2 ints. I don't know if that was 2 worlds or not.
Right.
Because it was misspelled if it was.
I think it was 2 worlds.
I feel like it might be another.
It might just be
alluding
like an
to
Easter egg, but-
yeah. But I mean, it might be the multiverse again.
That could be.
It was spelled wrong, but it still could have been. it.
What's our guy's name there? Flag? The one who can walk between worlds? In Stephen King stuff?
Oh, well, Randall Flagg is the bad guy from
Suicide Squad?
the tower from
There's a flag.
the Dark Tower, and
That's what I'm
from
talking about. He
what was
just-
the end of the world one where they all end up in Vegas and
That was also
what the hell was that?
the Stand.
The Stand.
Yeah,
Yeah, Randall Flagg.
but
in that too.
he's the one who like pops up in different Stephen King worlds, isn't
yes, yes.
he? Yeah,
So it could be.
yeah.
He could have something to do with it too. Then you mean saying could be?
If you're watching the show, pause on that scene though, the detention room. Look at that blackboard. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I did have to pause
so
and
funny.
go back
Oh my
because
God.
she's walking in front of it a couple
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, "What
yeah.
is all this stuff?" There was all
They
kinds
seem
of
like
crap.
they got a connection after that. I mean, they're both kind of dorky. And,
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty.
And they both kind of made like nice fun of each other, like kind of joked around and smirked at each
Essentially,
other.
one of them's gonna die because nobody can be
Why
happy
do
in
you
these
gotta-
shows.
That's true. That's like the same thing with the.
You were
Walking Dead.
just going to disagree for a second.
No, you're right. No, you're right.
Yep.
And now from there we go to the scene where Lily gets arrested by the police, and not arrested, but taken into the police
Did they
station.
say why they took her?
It had to do with the
Well,
movie
she-
theater.
They
It's-
think that she had something to do with it.
Yes,
Well, she
because
was
she
there.
is
They
the
all know
only.
she was
She's
there.
the one there. But
You'd think they would have cleared her already, like
Yeah,
either
but-
taken her in initially or not.
They did.
I'm going to tell you.
Go ahead.
Shut up and listen for a second.
Because those guys threatened him.
Yeah.
That was the chief of police walking her out of the school.
Right.
Because now he's like, I got to do something. So he takes this poor little girl to his office
Was there?
and not
Threatens
so
her.
subtly threatens that he's going to send her back to an insane asylum. I mean,
Yep, if
Juniper
if
Hill.
She
but-
doesn't say that Ronnie's father was at the theater.
Well, she's like, he
wasn't.
wasn't there, but then he's like, well, listen.
He changed the question.
Right. He's like, how about, do you know that he was nowhere in the building?
Right,
Are you
ridiculous.
No.
So she says just enough for him to be able to go and arrest
got him.
Ronnie's father. And that was all because of those guys threatening
That was
him.
a heartbreaking scene too when they went to arrest him and the daughter's screaming and crying. I'm like, oh my god.
But again, now when Hanlon's wife is screaming at those boys, the whole town's looking at her like weird. When the grandmother goes off on all these people in their little apartment area, the same thing. They're all
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of
Well,
giving her that stare like that. Something is slightly off in this town stare.
It's because of Pennywise.
yeah, absolutely. Like,
They
yeah.
become used to the type of situation.
yeah.
they're in.
And unfortunately, given the time period, it's going to be one of those things where it's part Pennywise and part like they want you to really get that like there's like a double standard in society.
Right.
So
But now we go into the scene Art's been dying to talk about because he's been talking about it the whole thing, saying it happened already.
it happened already.
Well, no, it did happen.
This is the
already.
show. This is the part where he goes in to talk with the general. And he goes over the files and he's like, okay. And then he ends up
yeah, the general.
And then he ends up telling him that
All right.
he's like, all right, it was a loyalty test,
Yeah,
basically.
which
Now,
we
it wasn't
guessed,
a lawyer,
we
right,
guessed
right.
this episode.
The reason that he knew, one of the reasons he knew it was a lie is because of the pistol that was used.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's a Russian pistol that's very hard
Makarov.
to use.
Right.
And he doesn't believe this guy, was it Masters? Is that the guy they were taking the
Yeah.
fall
Yeah,
for?
yep.
He doesn't believe he was really there. That
He doesn't really
you know.
be responsible for it.
And that's when the general goes, yes, okay,
Yeah.
sit down, let me explain to you.
Right.
You have every right to report me if you want to, but
Yep.
listen to what I have to say.
You know, I'm basically trying to vet you for like a mission,
Yeah.
essentially.
Because he needs someone without fear.
Doesn't have fear.
He has like damage to his amygdala, so he doesn't feel fear.
Mm-hmm.
So he can go up against Pennywise.
Amygdala.
Or whatever. I don't know what that's what he says he says that in
Does
the
he, though,
office.
or-
He's gonna
Even though it happened 20 minutes earlier than you're saying, yes.
Negative.
really what's gonna happen, and I'm saying this nonsensically, but then watch it be true, right? The villain for the season ends up being the turtle, but really it's Pennywise like pulling the
turtle?
strings.
No.
Not as the turtle, but like they find the turtle and they're gonna like fight the turtle, and it really like
That's not
Pennywise
the,
is
we're
like
not looking for the turtle, though. Because he goes into the next part where he brings him into the big hangar where they keep all the artifacts of everything they've dug up, and he explains basically Pennywise to him. But if you look at the artifacts, there's like the 1930 style car.
When did he do
There's some baseball
When did he go in and
uniforms.
visit Masters in the cell?
That was prior to him going to see the general.
Right. So that happened too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when he leaves the gun on the thing and and Masters can't work.
That's
it.
when he figures
so
out that
that's
it
when he
was that,
knows
yes.
that's wrong.
Yeah,
okay,
correct.
so that happened also.
Yeah. Yep.
So now where are we?
She's bringing him into the hangar with all the artifacts.
Oh, yeah.
And then he brings him into like the control room and tells everyone, all right, everyone clear the room. And he goes into explaining what they're looking for.
Shows them the dig sites
who
are
Pennywise
there.
actually, or what they think is Pennywise. Would they
they don't know anything
they don't know
about
his name is
that.
Pennywise or anything like that yet.
But there's some kind of
fear
weapon.
thing.
Is he calling it a
Force.
weapon?
calling it
or
a weapon, yes.
Some kind of weapon.
That instills fear in
And-
its enemies and...
That makes total sense. If there was such a thing as Pennywise and Derry and all this, the military would want to weaponize it.
Right.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
So that
Right.
makes total sense.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then
So that's another really good thing, even though nothing's going to come of it because in the 80s he's still there.
Well,
but
right. The biggest question though that like spurs this, and it'll spur it probably for every season, is like, what happens to make them think that it's all done and over? Maybe because they don't figure out the pattern of the 27 years, and they think maybe they have to fight and kill Pennywise.
But maybe, I'm wondering, I just popped in my head too,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, well, we know that he's still there in the 80s, but the military's not.
Right.
Is that going to, is the
Right.
base going to get destroyed?
Some of the stuff we don't know yet.
That's what I mean. It's by the end of the season, though, is the base going to be
the
wiped
base
off
is
the
not in
map?
Derry.
Close enough.
It's outside of Derry.
Close enough.
It's not actually in the town of Derry. It's
Well, it's
just
got to be
outside.
pretty close
Well,
because
because-
Close,
he's
but it's not in
infecting
it.
Derry.
Right.
Probably figured out the whole the radius of his effect, and we're like, okay, well, we're not going to put ourselves
Yeah, we're
in
gonna
the
do
blast
just
zone.
outside the blast zone, if
Yeah.
you will. Right. So yeah, they're going through the artifacts, and he's explaining why they're looking for this, and then he kind of gets it. You know what I mean? He's like, all right, I think at this point he's on board, and he wants to be a part of this mission. And then they
And there's not a minute between him and Halligan again, is there? Or like a
I don't think so.
shining moment again, almost like they're
Not that I remember.
a look. I might be
think he
wrong
even saw
about that.
I think he just
The next scene they go
he had, like,
into
indigestion or something.
is Lily and goes into the grocery store to go shopping for her mother.
Which to me, this was the scariest part of the
It was
whole
creepy.
episode. I mean,
Yeah.
it was very.
Yeah. Well, as soon as she walks
Unsettling.
in, you can see like the store clerk, one of the clerk boys in the background, giving her a real evil look as she's
Yes.
walking in. Yeah.
And then I don't know if it's the very first aisle she goes down, but she's walking down an aisle. You can see behind her, and a whole rack slides in behind her.
The
So
racks
like,
are sliding. There's people looking in weird ways.
and
at
that
her
one lady
behind her
tilts her head like
with the
Pennywise, like gives her
smile.
that really boy the whole thing.
Lily.
And eventually, it feels like it's getting closer and
Yes.
closer and closer. And then eventually, she's boxed in because she's kind of picking up on it too at this point.
By a lot of pickles.
She's boxed in. Well, the first part when she gets boxed in, there's all the cereal boxes.
Oh yeah,
like a pickle, Lily?
with all the dead kids' pictures.
all
on
the
them.
dead kids' pictures are on there. And one of the cereals, it was called Pennywise.
Pennywise cereal.
So that was actually on the box itself. Yeah. Yeah. And then she turns to run, and that aisle's blocked. And that's when she sees all the pickle jars. And she turns around to run away. And she's like in a box, basically, with a bunch of pickle jars. And then in one of them, you can see skin starting to turn, like and morph into a human face. And it turns out to be her father's face.
Yeah.
And he says, why don't you come over here and give daddy a kiss? And his nasty tongue is on the thing. And then in other pickle jars, all the other parts of his body are forming, like his fingers.
All the pickles float down here.
Yeah, so she's losing it. And I don't remember if she breaks the pickle jar and
She
they all
smashed
fall.
one,
She smashes
but a
one.
lot fell off the
everything
shelf.
fell off the
Yeah.
shelves. And then a big clump of cells and body parts form into like an octopus head version of her father.
And she falls but I'm thinking, holy moly, with all that
All the glass. Yeah.
around her and everything. But she ends up like tucked in the corner screaming, and then
Everything
it
back to
ends,
normal.
right?
Everything ends, and all of a sudden the manager at the store is staring at her. And he's like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? And she's just got the one pickle jar broken in front of her that they can see.
Mm-hmm.
So then she ends up getting picked up.
To go to
And
Juniper
they-
Hill. Her
Juniper
mother takes her to
Hill.
Juniper
Her mother,
Hill.
and she didn't seem to give a shit at all.
Her mother didn't even look sideways at her
No.
when she got out of the car. And didn't one of the guys, they had two guys with umbrellas.
Yeah.
One of them get a queer look, like a Pennywise type, like a little bit of
What kind of look?
Queer. he
weird,
said.
weird.
I don't know if that's how we use that word anymore, Art.
Oh, that's how I use
Maybe
it.
back in the 40s when you were popular.
Well, you guys
that's
are
when we
picking
used
on
it.
my words today.
Jesus. Can you take Maggie with you?
Maggie, you want to go upstairs?
Oh, she's going to take some cables. Hold your stuff.
Good job.
Oh, you nailed it.
Good dog.
Yeah. All right. But yeah.
So she ends up at
she ends
Juniper
back
Hill.
at Juniper Hill, and
Poor
then
kid.
they flash back to the dig site.
Even though that should be some awesome stuff happening there. I mean, I feel bad for her.
I agree. Yeah, but then they're back at the dig
Sure, we'll
site.
get more of that next episode.
Yeah.
And it shows them digging up like a 1930s era car. And it's got the doors open and there's bodies in the car. And it looks like money is all over the place.
Machine guns.
Yeah.
The gang.
It was
gotta be
definitely
the
from the
Bradley
35 one, yes. And that's where they end the episode.
The gang's all here.
That was good.
Oh my God.
That was a little better, actually. That was a little better.
Maybe practice at home. I recommend.
In front of the mirror.
Where are you going?
Whoa, what the heck
End
just
the
happened?
episode? What the hell are you doing?
I thought we were done.
We
'cause
are, but
you
we
did
got to
it.
close it out. We can. That's all we're talking about. Bye.
We could end it on his Pennywise impression.
Oh God.
My blessing
All I
impression.
want is professionalism. That's all I ask for.
Rarely, if
I don't
never.
ask for much. It's unbelievable.
You ask for a lot.
But that was the entirety of episode 2. Again, just like the last series we watched, this has been fantastic.
Yes.
I love this show. Absolutely love it. If you're not on board with this, get on board.
I watched this episode twice.
I like this more than I like the movies.
And actually, all the stuff on the blackboard, I saw the second time I watched it
Oh, you
because
did?
I didn't really pick up on that.
I
the first
don't
time.
know if I mean, I feel like I have to wait till the end of it to say if I liked it more than the movies, but I'll say this with 9 hours worth of content versus what on the high end 4,
Right.
from, 4.5. I mean, we're probably going to get a nice expansive story here.
Especially with 2 more seasons to go. This seems fantastic. So
Right.
far.
But
If
I'm
they
saying
can
even
keep
like
this consistency of quality.
even like one season, right? One season at 9 episodes at 9 hours, like
you can dive deep.
yeah.
What's great is even though they're fleshing this whole thing out, all this stuff from 1908 and 1935 wasn't, the details weren't in the book. All this stuff was, as far as
some of it.
Mike Hanlon went back and he's doing some trying to dig into the history of Derry in the original, in the book. And you get the stuff about the ironworks and about the Bradley gang and all that stuff. So it's really good. I love everything they're doing so far.
I have not read any of the books, just so we're all on the same page.
It's only one book.
I haven't read that one either.
Good book.
I read this.
You don't read a lot of books though.
I used to at work back when they paid me to do it. I read a lot of zombie books, but no.
But we should probably wrap this up.
But yeah, that was episode 2. You guys got to get on board with the show. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Should
All right.
watch it.
Peace out.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Two Studs and a Dud. Please like, subscribe, and share this video.